Good afternoon and welcome to Dale's Dinosaurs at the Pool Room. Today I'm going to be reviewing my first Jurassic World Rebirth dinosaur, the Jurassic World Frenzy Pack Edmontonia. Really cool. Comes in this blister pack, which is great for those people who like to keep their dinosaurs still in the package because it's still tangible. We can touch it, we can play with it, and it displays quite nicely. On the back we have the other dinosaurs, and there we go, you've got an aquatic reptile in there as well, and a little bit of detail on the scan code for those people who are using the app. But as you know, I keep my dinosaurs, I unleash my dinosaurs, I take them out of the packet. I like my dinosaurs loose on display, so let's rip her open. Now that we've got Edmontonia open, we can have a better look at her. It's being a frenzy pack, it's actually quite a simple toy, which I like. I love the $10 price point. That always excites me. But we can see the paint apps are very, very simple. We've just got the molded legs and the belly here, which is all that one color. The back is also molded in one color, and then we've got the tail, which yes is molded in that dark green but has a little bit of spray just underneath there, but otherwise has these scoots on the top, which are in a soft rubbery kind of plastic. It's the same as the darker spikes that come from the side of the dinosaur in that soft dark rubber as well. The head itself is the dark green mold, and the light green, or whatever you call it. Yeah, it's definitely like, it's almost like an olive kind of green paint application. The dark beak and the yellow eye that's all painted in. With these frenzy packs, they don't have a play feature, so they just have the mobility. The mouth doesn't open anything fancy like a Hammond collection, but we do get to enjoy the fact that it does have it poses quite nice. It's got these good articulation points here. The head doesn't articulate very much, but you can give it a little bit of character by tilting its head. Not much going on there, and the tail is similar in the fact that it's quite a rigid, sorry, I'll get that more in focus, kind of a more rigid articulation. The sculpt is great. As you always know, I'll bang on continuously about Mattel sculpting. I love it. I just love this. This is, I mean, like it's great for adult dinosaur fans like myself, but so cool for kids. You know, we've got this absolute tank of a dinosaur with these awesome spikes and osteoderms on the back. The tail's got these wonderful spikes. As you notice, no club, which is just something that Edmontonia just didn't have. That's okay. Edmontonia is a genus of notosaurid dinosaur from the late Cretaceous. Two species, Longiceps and Rugosidens. Longiceps is about 71 million years ago, and Rugosidens 75 million years ago. It was first discovered in 1915 in Alberta, Canada, sent on to the American Natural History Museum, where it's to be considered Paleosinthus. But then named Edmontonia in 1928, which was actually named after the location that it was discovered, which was at the time the Edmonton Formation. The Edmonton Formation is now known as the Horseshoe Canyon Formation, which has a treasure trove of fossils, but we'll get into that in a moment. Dinosaur Edmontonia was about 6 meters long and weighed in at about 3 tons. Pretty big tank-like beast. I haven't brought Robert Muldoon out with me because, to be honest, this toy is actually probably a little bit smaller than the way I just scaled an adult just then, with the other dinosaurs that come out from Mattel, and especially with Robert Muldoon, because he his scale, would just throw this particular toy out. But that's okay. So, what do we got? The back was all covered in these osteoderms. I really like these osteoderms. I reckon they just look awesome on this. And, you know, as a dinosaur, kids love to see spikes and lumps and horns on dinosaurs. And this thing just absolutely just bang on. Didn't have the club for the tail, had these awesome spikes that come all around on both sides of the dinosaur, the largest of them being across and over in front of the shoulder here. With these spikes, now what I'd like to think is that Edmontonia would like to use this shape as a defense. Not in the way of, like, you know, whipping around and doing those sorts of things and you know, like a Beyblade and, you know, hacking into the legs of its attackers and like some sort of a hostile creature, but more to actually collapse and drop down and lay flat to the ground. And then these spikes here that I would presume would actually deter predators from trying to flip the dinosaur over and get to the soft underbelly here. That's my thoughts on it. You know, think what you like. Anyway, that's what I think, and that's the thing that I hope kids play with. The head didn't have any osteoderms. It was quite a smooth unit on the top. Had the beak at the front for biting plants, and it had teeth to chew plants. As you can imagine, it was a herbivore, so it would have eaten whatever the local plant life was at that time. Now, the Horseshoe Canyon Formation was quite a treasure trove, as I mentioned, of fossil history. There are fossils of sharks and rays and also plesiosaur in there as well. In the freshwater areas, they also had turtles and crocodilians. The land areas were populated by hadrosaurs and ceratopsians and ornithomimids. Carnivores at the time would have been troodontids, dromaeosaurids, and of course Albertosaurus, which was the apex predator at the time. You know what, you can really get a good picture in your mind of this landscape. It would have been teeming with wildlife, you know, both salt and freshwater environments, and plenty of vegetation for the abundance of herbivores in the area. That's all I have on Edmontonia for you today. Be sure, now that this video is done, be sure to check out my other dinosaur videos. I upload a dinosaur video each week, and I also interlace these with my other toy passions, which is vintage Star Wars and Lego. A quick thank you to my growing list of subscribers. I've noticed that at the time of this video, I'm almost at 150. I know I need a lot more to get monetized and do all that, but at the moment I'm just having fun, you know. That's what it's all about. And you know what, as I always say, doesn't matter what you collect as long as you enjoy doing it. Until next time, this is Dale from the Pool Room. Take care.